No one looks an oracle in the eye, not if they value their sanity. On the planet of Virlia, eye contact with the crowned seer was considered a silent act of rebellion. The oracles did not merely see the future, they rearranged it. I learned that the hard way. The sky above Virlia Prime burned violet that morning, twin suns rising through artificial atmospheric shields. I was beneath the capital platforms, elbow-deep in the coolant core of a broken grav engine, when the sirens began. Royal procession. Everyone in the lower districts dropped to their knees, everyone except me, because I couldn't see it, and because I've never been good at bowing. The shadow passed overhead first, a massive levitating dread carrier bearing the sigil of the High Crown. Silver banners shimmered like liquid light, royal guards lined the lower bridges, and then she appeared, the Queen's sorceress. High Oracle Surith Valrin. They said she hadn't aged in 40 years, that her mind was entangled with the stellar core itself, that she could pull secrets from your bones. She walked without touching the ground. White gold robes drifted around her like smoke in water. A thin circlet of living crystal pulsed on her forehead. Everyone kept their eyes down, except me. I don't know why I looked up. Maybe curiosity, maybe stupidity, maybe something else. But the moment our eyes met, the world stopped. It wasn't dramatic. No lightning, no explosion, just silence, complete and suffocating. Her pupils dilated, her breath hitched. And for the first time in recorded history, the oracle trembled. Gasps rippled through the crowd. A royal guard reached for his pulse blade, but Surith lifted one trembling hand. "Stop!" Her voice was soft, but it bent reality. The guard froze mid-motion. She descended slowly until her feet touched the metal platform in front of me. Up close, she didn't look ancient. She looked shaken, like someone who had just seen a ghost, or a god. "What is your name?" she asked. My throat felt dry, Kale. She inhaled sharply, as if that name meant something it didn't, not to me. Then she reached forward and placed 2 fingers against my temple. The contact was electric. My mind exploded into light. I saw stars collapsing, a throne made of fractured constellations, a woman crowned in fire, myself standing beside her. No, not beside, behind, guarding, bound. And then her voice inside my skull. "He is meant for you." The connection snapped. I staggered back, gasping. The crowd was silent. The Queen herself stood several meters away, her expression unreadable. "You saw something," the Queen said carefully. Oracle Surith did not look at her. She was still staring at me. "No," she whispered. "I saw everything." The Queen's voice sharpened. "Explain." Surith's gaze softened, not with fear, with recognition. "He carries the mark of the Star Throne." Murmurs broke out among the guards. "Impossible. The mark only appears in royal bloodlines, and I was born in the lower industrial rings. No family record, no heritage file, no past worth mentioning." The Queen stepped closer. "Scan him." A drone hovered forward, blue light sweeping over my body. It paused at my chest, then flickered, then glitched, then shut down completely. System failure. The first in 23 years. The Queen's eyes narrowed. Surith finally spoke clearly. "He is not a threat." A pause. "He is a convergence." Silence, then softer. "And he is meant for you." Her eyes shifted, not to the Queen, but to someone standing on the upper royal platform, a figure cloaked in midnight armor, a woman. Watching me, Princess Erin Valrin, heir to the Star Throne, and judging by the way her hand tightened on the railing, she had felt it too. Princess Erin did not look surprised. That was the part that unsettled me most. The guards were whispering. The Queen was calculating, the crowd was terrified, but the princess, she was studying me. Like I was a weapon she hadn't decided whether to wield or destroy. "Bring him," the Queen ordered. I expected chains. Instead, gravity shifted. The platform beneath my feet dissolved into light and lifted me upward toward the royal level. The lower districts shrank beneath me, metal, smoke, forgotten people. My entire life reduced to a gray blur. I had never been this high in the city. No one from my level was allowed here, unless they were being erased. The princess stepped forward when I reached the upper platform. Up close, she was nothing like the propaganda hollows, not cold, not distant. Her eyes were silver, not from implants but from bloodline modification. Royal genetics were rewritten generations ago to interface with the stellar core. Power hummed around her like a second heartbeat. "You felt it," she said quietly. "It wasn't a question." "I saw something," I answered, her jaw tightened. "What did you see?" I hesitated, the throne of shattered stars, her crowned in fire, myself behind her not as king, as shield. "As shadow, destruction," I said instead. That made her exhale slowly. "Good," she whispered. "Then it's still avoidable." The queen turned sharply. "Aaron." There was warning in that single word. The princess straightened instantly. The softness vanished. Royal composure snapped back into place. "We will verify the oracle's claim," the queen announced. "Until then, the subject remains under crown protection." Protection, not imprisonment. That was worse. I was escorted through corridors carved from living crystal. Walls pulsed faintly with stored starlight. Every surface reflected distorted versions of me. In some reflections, I swore I looked older. In others, crowned. I blinked and the images vanished. Hallucination. Probably. They brought me into a circular chamber at the heart of the palace. The stellar interface room. At the center floated a sphere of condensed cosmic energy, the stellar core fragment that powered the empire. It reacted the moment I stepped inside. Light rippled across its surface. The guards stiffened. The queen's voice came through hidden speakers. "Approach." I didn't move. The princess did. She stepped beside me. Close enough that I could feel warmth through the energy field woven into her armor. "Don't fight it," she murmured so only I could hear. "I don't even know what it is." Her silver eyes flicked to mine. "That's why it chose you." The core pulsed, once, twice. Then a thread of light shot outward and wrapped around my wrist. Pain didn't come. Memory did, not mine. Ancient voices, a war in orbit, a throne split in two, a royal line divided, one branch crowned, one branch hidden, buried in the lower rings, protected by obscurity. My breath hitched. This wasn't random. This wasn't a glitch. I wasn't erased by accident. I was edited out. The light crawled up my arm and burned through my shirt. A mark formed over my heart, a geometric sigil made of intersecting star lines, the same sigil carved above the royal throne. The room went silent. The queen appeared in person this time. No hologram, no distance. She stared at the mark, then at the oracle. "You said he was meant for her," the queen said slowly. Surith's voice was steady now. "I said he is her convergence." The princess looked between them. "Stop speaking like I'm not here." For the first time, tension cracked between mother and daughter. "He carries the second claim," the oracle continued. "The throne will not remain singular." The queen's expression darkened. "There has not been a second claim in 300 years. "Then perhaps," Surith replied softly, "it is time." I stepped back. "I don't want a throne." The core pulsed violently. The lights flickered. Somewhere deep in the palace, alarms began to hum. The princess grabbed my wrist, the marked one. The moment her skin touched the sigil, the entire chamber exploded with light. Not outward, inward, like reality folding around us. And in that blinding collapse I heard her voice in my mind. Not royal, not composed, afraid. "If they find out what this really means, they'll kill you." The light vanished. We were still standing, but the core had changed color, from gold to crimson. And outside the chamber walls the city sirens began to scream, not for ceremony, for war. The sirens didn't fade. They multiplied. Layer upon layer of alarm frequencies bled through the palace walls until even the crystal beneath our feet began to vibrate. Crimson light from the core pulsed like a wound that refused to close. The queen didn't panic. That was the terrifying part. She watched, calculated. "Seal the chamber," she ordered. Shields snapped into place around us. Transparent barriers of hard light caged the room. The princess was still holding my wrist. Her grip wasn't royal now, it was human. "What did you do?" she whispered. "I didn't do anything." But the mark over my heart was burning brighter, not outward, toward her. Outside the shields, guards rushed through corridors, drones activated, defensive satellites shifted orbit. The stellar core pulsed again. Crimson deepened to something darker, almost black. Oracle Surith stepped closer, eyes unfocused, seeing something none of us could. "It has begun," she murmured. The Queen's patience thinned. "What has begun?" "The correction." The chamber lights flickered out. Only the core illuminated us now, and in its surface images formed. Not reflections, futures, the capital in flames, royal banners torn from the sky bridges, the throne room split down the center. Two crowns hovering above it, one gold, one forged of shadowed starlight. The princess saw it too, her breathing changed. "That's not war," she said slowly. "That's division." A shockwave rippled through the palace. The shield cracked, not shattered. Cracked from the outside. The Queen turned sharply toward the chamber entrance. "Who authorized orbital activation?" she demanded. No one answered, because no one had. Through the fractured shield, I saw the sky above the capital flicker. Not from internal systems, from something descending. Ships, but not foreign, royal class, ancient design, hidden fleet. The Queen's face drained of color. "That's impossible," she whispered. The oracle's voice was calm. "No, Your Majesty." It was inevitable. The princess released my wrist slowly. "You said they'd kill me," I said quietly. Her eyes met mine. "They will, a beat, but not before they try to control you." The chamber doors exploded inward. Not from the outside, from within the walls. Hidden panels split open and black-armored soldiers stepped through, not wearing the Queen's sigil. A different crest, a fractured star. They didn't hesitate, weapons raised. The Queen's guards turned their blades. Standoff. Silent, explosive. One of the black-armored soldiers removed his helmet. He looked like me. Not identical, but close enough to make the room tilt. Same eyes, same jawline, older. Scar across his brow shaped like half the sigil on my chest. He looked at me with something between pity and recognition. "So," he said calmly, "they let you wake up." The Queen stepped forward. "You dare breach the crown." The man ignored her. His eyes stayed on me. "You don't understand what you are yet," he continued, "but you will." The princess moved in front of me instinctively. A shield. He smiled faintly. "There it is," he murmured. The bond stabilizing already. The oracle closed her eyes. The throne has split. The core pulsed black, not crimson, not gold. Black like space between galaxies, and every system in the palace shut down at once. Gravity faltered. The room tilted. The princess grabbed me as the floor dissolved into falling light. The older soldier didn't move. He simply said, "Choose quickly, Kale." And the world dropped away beneath us. Falling didn't feel like falling. It felt like being unmade. Light stretched into threads. Sound flattened into a single, endless tone. My body wasn't weightless, it was undefined. The princess was still holding on to me. Or maybe I was holding on to her. I couldn't tell where her skin ended and the mark on my chest began. Then, impact. Not against ground, against memory. We slammed into a different sky. No palace. No shields, no screaming sirens. Just open atmosphere and a shattered moon hanging impossibly close above us. I hit solid metal. Cold, industrial, familiar. The lower rings, but older, rustier, like the city had aged decades in seconds. Erin rolled beside me, armor flickering as her systems tried to recalibrate. "This isn't the capital," she said under her breath. "No," I replied. "It's beneath it." Above us, through the lattice of structural beams, I could see the underside of Virlia Prime, layers of platforms and forgotten infrastructure. But something was wrong. There were lights down here, organized lights, not scavenger clusters, military formations, and they were waiting. Bootsteps echoed, not rushed, measured. The older soldier from the chamber emerged from the shadows. No fall. No distortion. He had arrived intentionally. "You were always going to land here," he said calmly. Erin rose to her feet, summoning a blade of condensed stellar light into her hand. It hummed violently in this environment. "Identify yourself," she demanded. The man inclined his head slightly. "Commander Selim Vyerks." The name meant nothing to me, but the princess stiffened. "That fleet was dismantled after the schism," she said. "So you were told," he answered. He looked at me again. 300 years ago the Star Throne fractured, not politically. He tapped his own chest. Genetically. Aaron's blade brightened. "Careful," she warned. Selim ignored her. The royal line split into two engineered branches, one attuned to command the core. His gaze shifted to the princess, and one attuned to survive it. Then back to me. "You are the survival branch." The mark on my chest pulsed in response. Pain this time, sharp. Aaron stepped closer to me. "You're lying." "I wish I were," Selim replied. He extended his hand. The air shimmered, projecting archival data, ancient records, redacted files, erased genealogies. One file flickered. My name, but not as Kale. A longer designation beneath it, Project Umbra. "They buried your bloodline in the lower rings," Selim continued. "Stripped records, suppressed markers, integrated you into obscurity." "Why?" I demanded. "Because the core cannot be ruled by a single consciousness forever." His eyes softened slightly. "It burns through them." Erin's expression didn't change, but I felt something shift in her, something she already knew. "The Crimson Pulse," I said slowly. "The core reacting to me." Selim nodded. "It's stabilizing." Erin snapped. "Stabilizing for what?" He answered without hesitation. "For dual control." Above us, a tremor rippled through the city's superstructure. Through the gaps in the metal lattice, I saw the sky flicker again. But this time, it wasn't ships descending. It was the capital shielding itself. From us. "They've declared you hostile," Selim said calmly, "to the entire system." Erin stepped in front of me again. "I won't allow that." "You don't have that authority," he replied. She lifted her chin. "I am the crown heir." Selim's expression turned almost sad. "Not anymore." The ground beneath us vibrated. Massive energy cannons rotated into position along the city's underside, targeting downward, targeting this sector. Erin looked at me. For the first time, no royal composure, just urgency. "If you come with him," she said quietly, "you become the enemy of the throne." I met her eyes. "If I stay, they will cage you, study you, use you." A pause. "And eventually erase you properly." Selim extended his hand toward me again. "Choose your truth." Erin didn't reach for me this time. She simply stood close enough that our shoulders brushed. Close enough that the mark on my chest warmed instead of burned. Above us, the first cannon charged. The sky turned white, and for a single suspended second, the future hadn't decided yet. The cannon fired, but not at us. The blast tore through the sector to our left, vaporizing an empty industrial column. The shockwave slammed into us anyway, knocking loose metal beams from the ceiling. A warning shot. Erin didn't flinch. "They're hurting," she said coldly. Selim nodded once. "They don't want you dead, not yet." Another cannon began to charge, this one angled lower, closer. The fractured star insignia on Selim's armor pulsed faintly. "Decision time is over," he said. He stepped forward and pressed his palm flat against my chest, directly over the mark. Pain exploded through me, but it wasn't damage, it was activation. The sigil split, not physically, energetically. Half of it flared silver, half black. The air bent around us. Erin gasped. "You're synchronizing him." "No," Selim replied calmly. "I'm unlocking him." Memory surged again, training halls I had never seen, combat drills in zero gravity. A hidden fleet drifting beyond known space, voices calling me by another name. Umbra Prime, the survival heir. My knees nearly buckled. Erin grabbed my arm. "Stay with me." The warmth of her touch cut through the chaos. For a second, everything aligned. The black energy from the mark didn't resist her silver aura, it harmonized. Selim's eyes sharpened. "There it is." The second cannon fired, this time at us, but before the blast reached impact, the energy bent. Curved, split in two around our bodies like a river dividing around stone. Behind us, the metal platforms disintegrated, but we stood untouched. Aaron slowly looked at me. You redirected it. I didn't try to. That's the problem, Selim muttered. Above, the capital shields shifted again. Then a new voice cut through the air, amplified, authoritative. The Queen. Kale. My name echoed across the lower rings. Return to the palace and you will not be harmed. A pause. Aaron, step away from him. Aaron's jaw tightened. I'm not a child to be summoned. You are my heir, the Queen replied sharply. You are a variable, Selim corrected. The city trembled again, this time from within, systems overloading, the core reacting to the split alignment. Aaron turned to me fully now, not princess, not heir, just her. If you go with him, she said quietly, we divide the throne permanently. If I go back, you become a weapon. Her silver eyes flickered toward Selim, and he becomes your general. Selim didn't deny it. Another pulse tore through the sky, but this one didn't come from the cannons. It came from orbit, the hidden fleet, dark silhouettes sliding out of stealth above the capital. The schism fleet had revealed itself, and the city's defense grid was already turning inward to fight it. Civil war, not in decades, in minutes. Selim looked up once, then back at me. You are not choosing between us, he said calmly. You are choosing what the throne becomes. The mark over my heart pulsed again. Silver, black, silver, black. Aaron slowly reached for my hand, this time not to restrain, not to shield, to link. Her fingers intertwined with mine. The core's distant hum echoed through the entire planet. It wasn't angry anymore, it was waiting. Above us, two fleets locked targeting sequences. Below us, the lower rings began evacuating in chaos, and between all of it we stood at the axis. I looked at Selim, at Aaron, at the sky splitting into opposing forces. Then I did the only thing that made sense. I stepped forward and pulled Aaron with me. Selim didn't stop us. That was the first sign I'd made the right move. He watched as I pulled Aaron forward, not toward him, not toward the palace, but toward the open edge of the platform, where the lower ring dropped into endless structural depths. You don't even know where you're going, Aaron said under her breath. Not up, I answered. Another orbital blast lit the sky. The schism fleet had begun firing warning arcs across the capital shields. Royal defense satellites responded instantly. Explosions bloomed in silence above us. A war between bloodlines, because of me. No, because of what I was. The mark over my heart pulsed again, but this time it wasn't chaotic. It was directional, a pull downward, beneath the lower rings, beneath even Selim's hidden sector. There's something under this city, I said. Selim's expression shifted just slightly, so I was right. You're not ready for that, he said evenly. Then why can I feel it? He didn't answer. Aaron squeezed my hand. You feel the original interface, she whispered. The one before the core was fragmented. The ground shook violently. This wasn't orbital fire, this was internal. Power grids destabilizing. The core reacting to divided command signals. Aaron looked upward. They're both trying to sink it alone. If that continues, Selim said calmly, the core will collapse. And take the capital with it, she finished. And the lower rings, I added. Silence. Because that was the part none of them were supposed to care about. I stepped closer to the edge. Wind howled upward through the vertical shafts. Far below, something faintly glowed. Not gold, not crimson, not black, white, ancient white. The mark flared in response. That's the source, I said. Aaron followed my gaze, her breath caught. That's impossible. The Prime Conduit was sealed after the schism. Sealed, Selim corrected. Not destroyed. Another explosion rocked the city. This time a section of upper platform actually broke free and fell past us in a cascade of burning debris. Time was out. I turned to Selim. If I go down there, does your fleet stand down? He studied me carefully. You're assuming you'll survive. Answer me. A beat. Yes. I looked at Aaron. If I go down there, do you stop your mother from forcing synchronization? Her silver eyes were storm bright now. She won't listen. Then you make her. A long silence passed between us. Then she nodded. Selim stepped forward suddenly and pressed something into my palm. a small metallic shard shaped like half the sigil on my chest. "The survival branch was never meant to rule," he said quietly. "It was meant to endure the reset." "Reset?" Aaron demanded. He looked at her. "If the core destabilizes beyond repair, it purges both claimants." Cold realization settled over us. "Meaning?" I asked. "It wipes the bloodline." Above, the core pulse shifted frequency. Faster now, desperate, the fleets began direct fire. The capital's shields fractured visibly across the sky like cracking glass. Aaron stepped closer to me again. "If you die down there, I won't." "You don't know that." "No," I admitted. "But I know this." I lifted our joined hands between us. "The core reacts when we're aligned." She looked at our hands, at the glow where silver and black intertwined. "You're thinking we were never meant to split the throne," she whispered. "No." Another tremor, closer, stronger. "I think we were meant to redefine it." Selim's voice cut in sharply. "If you're going to jump, do it now." The structure beneath our feet began to fracture. Energy from orbit was reaching deeper layers. I looked down into the vertical abyss beneath the city. White light pulsed far below like a buried star. Aaron inhaled slowly. Then, without hesitation, she stepped to the edge with me. "If we fall," she said quietly, "we fall together." The mark flared. Silver and black fused into something new, not divided, not clashing, balanced. Above us, the sky split with the largest explosion yet. Below us, the ancient white conduit awakened fully. And as the platform finally gave way, we jumped. We didn't fall. The white light caught us. Not like hands, like recognition. The abyss beneath the city opened into a vast hollow sphere, ancient architecture predating the capital itself. No banners, no sigils, no royal modifications, just raw structure. At the center hovered the Prime Conduit, not fractured, not corrupted, whole. It pulsed in steady white rhythm, indifferent to fleets, crowns, or bloodlines. Aaron's grip tightened around mine as we descended gently onto a circular platform suspended in the void. Above us, the sounds of war were muffled now, distant thunder behind layers of stone and energy. Down here there was only the hum and us. "The original throne," Aaron whispered. "No," I said quietly, "the original choice." The mark over my heart burned again, but it no longer hurt. It split cleanly into two streams of light, one silver, one black, flowing outward from my chest toward the conduit. Aaron's aura answered. Her silver light reached for it instinctively. The moment they touched, the conduit reacted. Not violently, relieved. Above, I felt it. The stellar core's unstable pulses faltered. The crimson faded. The black retreated. Every defense cannon froze mid-charge. Every fleet system glitched. Because something deeper had taken priority. Authority had shifted. Aaron gasped softly as visions flooded us both. The schism. The first split. The fear of shared power. The decision to divide the bloodline instead of trusting it. And the slow corruption that followed, not from malice. From imbalance. The throne was never meant to be singular. It was designed for convergence. For two consciousnesses in harmonic tension. Command and survival, light and shadow, choice and endurance. "We were engineered to replace each other," Aaron said, voice trembling. "No," I answered. "We were engineered to prevent each other." The conduit brightened. Above us, I could feel the Queen forcing synchronization with the fractured core. I could feel Selim's fleet trying to override command protocols. Both sides pulling, both sides afraid. The conduit pulsed once. A question. Aaron looked at me, not as heir, not as ruler, just as herself. "If we link to this," she said slowly, "there is no going back. No throne as it was, no bloodline supremacy, no absolute rule." I nodded, "and no more splits." Silence settled between us, heavy, final. Then she smiled faintly. "Good." We stepped forward together, not touching the conduit separately, together, our hands still linked. The moment our palms pressed against the white surface, everything stopped. War froze, fleet cannons powered down. The stellar core above shattered not in destruction but in release. Its fragmented energy streamed downward into the Prime Conduit, reabsorbed like scattered pieces returning home. The sky over Virlia cleared. The shields dissolved. The fleets lost target locks, because the system no longer recognized a divided authority. It recognized us, not as rulers, as balance. Light engulfed the chamber, not blinding, soft. When it faded, the conduit dimmed to a steady glow. The war was over, not won, ended. Far above, the Queen would feel it first, the loss of singular control. Selim would understand it second, the end of hidden fleets and survival contingencies. The throne room would stand empty, because there would no longer be a throne. Erin looked down at my chest. The mark was gone, not erased, integrated. A faint line of silver crossed her collarbone. A faint shadowed star marked my wrist. Equal, mirrored, shared. You realize, she said quietly, we just dismantled 3 centuries of empire. Yeah. I looked up toward the distant city lights stabilizing above us. They'll be angry. She almost laughed. They'll be terrified. A pause, then softer, but they'll adapt. The conduit hummed peacefully behind us, no longer demanding, no longer fractured, just steady, alive. We weren't crowned. We weren't announced. No ceremony marked the shift. But across Virlia, systems recalibrated, not to a monarch, to a dual signal, to convergence. Erin slipped her fingers fully between mine, not out of urgency this time. Choice. So, she asked gently, what does a world without a throne look like? I looked at the horizon forming in the hollow chamber as access pathways slowly opened upward. Something new, I said. Something neither of us rules alone. Above us, the city lights stabilized into calm constellations, not divided, not at war, balanced. And for the first time since the schism, the stars above Virlia shone without trembling.